I'm Erno of ErnoHunting.com, and I'm an author, mentor, and speaker on attracting clients. And today we talk about Lou Bortone, about how he attracts clients with videos. Hi Lou, how are you?
Good. Hi, Erno. How are you doing?
Good. And I have a question. So where are you from and what do you do? I say that you do video, but what does it
Yep.
do exactly?
I do video marketing and help entrepreneurs with their video marketing strategies so that they can get more visibility and have more presence online.
And where are you from? Where do you live?
I live in New Hampshire, which is about an hour north of Boston, and I grew up in Boston, but I worked in Los Angeles for many years.
Yeah, in the TV business, right?
Yes, I was in cable TV and broadcast TV and worked at Fox Kids Network, Fox Family Channel. I worked at E! Entertainment Television, which was very fun and popular back then.
Yeah. And now you've been working for a few years in video marketing online.
Yeah, I've pretty much moved my whole business online. I used to do more traditional video, where you go out with the cameras and all that and shoot things, but I wanted to do, work with people all over instead of just locally. So I moved everything online and have been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years.
And how did you came to this switch? I know it's very closely related, but why did you move away from from the TV business?
It was just changing a lot, and if things were moving online, it was just more exciting as an entrepreneur to do things online because there were sort of fewer rules, and the TV business has had a little bit of a hard time adapting to new media and internet and things like that. So I wanted to make the transition sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Do you think that the TV business is ever going to catch up?
I don't know. I mean, it's so funny now to see them all trying to get online and do all the things that entrepreneurs and online marketers have been doing for years. But I think they'll be okay, but it's going to be a lot more competitive than it used to be.
Yeah, but I think there's still a lot of money is going there, so it will still have some time to get to change, right?
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be, like in the U.S., there's always going to be millions of people that watch popular shows like American Idol and things like that. So as long as they can still get a mass audience, they can still survive.
I agree, and get advertisers, of course.
Yeah.
For that. I saw your site, and you work with some pretty well-known names. At least to me, I saw Michael Port,
Yep.
a famous author of Book Yourself Solid,
Mm-hmm.
and Ali Brown, the famous coach,
Yeah.
I would say, right? A very famous coach. But and how did you came to meet all these people that they're going to work with you?
With Michael, I worked with him and hired him as a coach, and then became one of his certified Book Yourself Solid coaches, and really just developed a relationship and a friendship over the last several years, which is nice because not only do we work together, but now we're also pretty good friends. So
Cool.
So with him, it was just a matter of kind of working with him and letting the relationship develop. And with folks like Ali Brown, I think it's more because I had a pretty good presence and visibility online, and people knew about me and what I did. So when she needed some help with video, I reached out.
Yeah, and I can remember that the first time I really noticed you. I've seen you before. Every once in a while you notice somebody, but I really noticed you when you made a video of the 30 best female bloggers post that I did.
Right.
I had all these screenshots, and you make a video of that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like doing those videos because it both highlights those folks and it's kind of a good visibility strategy because then all those people see it and they know that it's a video.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I also think that's not right away the video that people expect. Yeah, and normally I think that people like me and Ali Brown and so on, although I'm right, that they are more like you see them personally, don't see images over the screen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but the nice thing about doing videos like that, like the photo montages, is they're very, very easy to create, and you can do them quickly. You can do them for free. I think on that one I used a site called Slide Motion.
Oh, really?
There's another free site called Stupeflix, Stupeflix, and it's very, very easy to create photo videos by just dragging the photos in and adding some music, and that's it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And because I used to have to use something like Animoto. I tried that a
Yeah,
couple of times.
yeah, same
Um,
idea.
yeah, yeah. You mentioned we talked about these clients. What is your ideal client?
My ideal client is usually a speaker, author, coach, someone who wants to have a strong online presence and someone who understands the power of video and the fact that video is a great way to promote your business.
Right. But in general, I think about when they talk speakers that you also record them speaking and then make a pitch video or demo video of how they speak. Is that something
Yeah.
you still do?
Yes, I do. And a lot of times, because I don't go to all the events and I don't travel and I don't do the camera stuff myself, people will send me the footage from their event or the footage that they had recorded, and then I will clean it up and edit it and do all kinds of fun stuff with it.
All
So I
right.
do more editing and creative, that part. I don't really do the videography and the shooting anymore.
Okay, so that okay, now I understand. That's really nice.
Yeah, so I don't have to go all over. You know, I mean, I do travel some, but not. I don't have to go to every single event because they just send me the footage that they get.
Yeah, and do you feel that videos like that is still a very necessary thing to have as as a speaker?
Yeah, I think it's important to, show people what you do and show you kind of, performing or doing what you do because people are pretty careful about how they spend their money. So before they hire a speaker, they're going to want some kind of proof or some kind of evidence that they can pull it off. And if you have a speaking reel or a speaking demo, people can see that, okay, this person's for real, they've done it before, and they're very good, and they engage the audience and that kind of thing.
Right, right. So that's not the same as doing videos like this one. You just do from home and shoot with the camera yourself. That's
Right.
something different because then you don't see the audience and the interaction. Do you have a? I mean, you told me about the ideal clients, but do you have a niche where you really are in deep into?
I tend to work with a lot of solo professionals, service professionals, people in healing arts. I have a lot of authors and speakers. So it isn't just sort of the big, I guess, high-profile people like Michael Port, but also a lot of folks, some who are just starting out and want to really establish a presence online.
Right. And the products that you have on your website, they are also especially meant for those people?
Yeah, I do a lot of training products and a lot of things to, help people get started because some people, myself included, don't really like being on camera that much, so they have to get used to the idea. And some folks are just intimidated, like they think they need a lot of equipment to do it, whereas like you and I are just doing Skype and a webcam.
Yeah. It's not very difficult, actually.
As long as the Skype holds up, we're doing okay.
Yeah, no, that's an important point. I agree, that's an important point. Do you think that if you pick a certain audience that really that it helps you to grow your business?
Yeah, I think it's hard, I struggled with this for a long time, which is funny because my background is marketing and branding, but I had trouble narrowing in on my niche and my target audience. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs starting out, you say, well, who's your target? And they say, well, everyone, anyone with a checkbook. And that's not really a target market. That's, and the more you can narrow your focus, the easier it is to find those folks.
Yeah.
So if you want to work just with, wellness professionals, it's much easier to find them than to say, I want to work with any entrepreneur who does anything. So
Yeah,
it's something we all struggle with, but I think the more you can, narrow that niche, the easier it's going to be for you to get established.
yeah, I agree. And it's funny that you said I have a marketing background and branding background, and I still have issues with that. And I had the same thing. I have a marketing background, and I had the same issue when I started for myself, and I had to focus. It took me 2 years to finally get something on paper and to get it done.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I can do, and I think a lot of people face this, but I can do marketing and branding for anybody else pretty easily. But when it comes to doing it for myself, I have to hire a coach.
Yeah. And I think everyone needs a coach on these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you attract your clients? I mean, you have defined your ideal client and your niche.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you attract them? What is it that they come to you?
A lot of times people will find me via video, obviously, and social media, and then a lot of referrals. Sort of the word gets out, oh, if you need a really good video guy, go to this person.
Right.
But social media has been great. it's funny because my wife's like, what are you doing wasting your time on Facebook, and why do you have 4,000 friends? I'm like, I said, well, that's where, a lot of the business comes from. And it's true. I mean, people say, oh, I saw you on Facebook, or I saw that tweet that you did. And that's enough to kind of make them look me up and find out more.
Right. And which of these channels brings you in the most? If you look Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and referrals, which one is your, gets you the most clients?
Probably Facebook, because you can have a lot of visibility there, and you can start to tell a story, and as people look at your timeline, they can tell what you're all about. I post a lot of videos to Facebook, so I get a lot of visibility that way. Facebook's very video friendly, as you know, so it's a great place to share video. And I use YouTube obviously, but there's just so much on YouTube, it's very easy to get lost there.
Right. And if you share videos on Facebook, do you upload them to Facebook, or do you upload them somewhere else and then embed them on Facebook?
Well, you can do it either way. You can upload to YouTube and share it to Facebook, but I prefer to upload directly to Facebook because it gives me more control over that video, and I can choose from, whereas YouTube only gives you 3. So I like to upload directly to Facebook and have more control over the video.
Right. And then do you upload the same video also to YouTube, for example?
Yeah, I mean, because my philosophy is wherever anybody can see that video, if they happen to see it on YouTube, great. If they happen to see it on Facebook, that's fine too. So I do upload the same video to several places when I have a video so that there's more chance of it being seen.
Right. Because people are saying that YouTube is the second largest search engine.
Yeah.
And if you're smart, you can make a keyword easily found in Google, in the search engine by just posting a video.
Exactly.
And I think that's a little bit different if you're using the video on Facebook. I don't think it goes that fast.
Right. The videos that I post on Facebook, it's funny, on YouTube, it's funny because I have a Google alert and I'll see them come up, minutes after I post, which is amazing.
You use multiple channels, you said, and which is your favorite that you use on video?
Okay, wait. YouTube, don't listen. Google, don't listen. Facebook.
Really?
Yes. I didn't want Google to hear that because they'll kick me off or something. But
no, that won't happen. Because I'm a fan of Vimeo because I think the quality of the video is really good there.
Yeah, Vimeo, Vidler. A lot of folks think, oh my gosh, I have to post to all these different video sites, but I think you should, just as with social media, pick out the 2 or 3 that you like the best and focus on those.
Right. You have a lot of products on your website. How do you think of new products?
The thinking of them is never a problem. Like I always come up with new ideas. It's a matter of executing it, and will people do people need it? Do they want to buy it? Because I get a lot of crazy ideas, but then I have to pull back and talk to people and survey my audience to see if it's something that they want.
Yeah. And so you, in that sense, you cooperate with your audience to determine if they are ready to buy your product.
Yeah. Even things like when I'm doing a webinar and I see the questions that come in, I sort of keep track. What kinds of questions are they asking? What's the theme? Is there a thread to this? And then try and create products that answer those questions.
Right. Cool. What tool brings in the most clients for you? I mean, what is your big money maker?
Which tool brings in the most?
Yeah, there was 2 questions in one. I just wanted to ask the other one. I'm sorry. What is your money maker of the products that you have and the service that you offer? What is it that you make the most money on?
It used to be video editing and video production, but that's very much trading time for dollars and very labor intensive. So I'm moving more now towards coaching and consulting, where I help folks over the course of 3 or 6 months really plan out a video strategy. So I'm doing a lot more coaching and consulting these days.
Yeah.
And it's, obviously a higher end product than a $27 ebook.
Yeah. And do you combine it, for example, with with blogging, so that you have a video strategy? But in general, I think that they also should you should post them on your blog. Is that a part of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. We do a whole video editorial calendar and plan out what kind of videos they should be doing when, based on their marketing goals. So it isn't just, oh, I need to do a video because everybody else is doing it. You're doing it because you're trying to launch a product or do a live event. So it really depends on the business objectives, and then we work backwards from that.
Yeah, and I hear the last year or 2 years now, this is going to be the year of video. Is that something that you see?
I know it's becoming a lot easier and a lot more mainstream, and I think the easier it gets, the more people are going to adopt it. And again, with sites like Animoto.com, anybody can do video. If you can upload pictures, you can do a video. So people are realizing that they can turn their PowerPoints into video. So as more people realize that they don't need a lot of equipment or a big investment, I think it's going to become more and more mainstream.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that if you have videos where you see the actual people, that and if you're like a coach and a trainer or an author, you're having a one-on-one relationship with your client. It is it adds a personal touch to what you do, and it builds trust.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I think if you're doing a video on your website, or if you're doing a video where you're promoting a personal service like one-on-one coaching, you want to see that other person, you want to develop that connection, and it builds that, like you said, builds the know, like, and trust factor.
Right, right. Do you have a blog?
I do have a blog, which is part of my website now. I've sort of combined everything under Bortone.com.
Right.
And I try and do a blog post once a week or so, and I try and sprinkle video within that every couple of weeks as well. I probably should do more, but it's just a matter of how much can you do? Yeah,
it's all about priorities. And how many visitors do you have per month in your blog?
I just relaunched the blog, so I'm not exactly sure. I have to really go back into Google Analytics and start digging into that. But we just switched everything over. I've got a new WordPress blog at Bortone.com, and
right.
Just changed that whole thing and put the blog within the website. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes in the next few months.
No, I agree. I think that's the way you should go. And WordPress, of course, it's already #1. And then combine the two, your website and your blog, into one domain as building a hub where everybody is and in the end is going to be directed to. Oh, I had a question that I remember now is about Facebook, because I saw that you have a Facebook personal profile that you use the most. Do you have also a business page that you use?
I do. I have a business page. I think it's called the Bortone Online or Video Marketing. But it's funny because I wanted to sort of, kind of max out the personal page, which I use for business as well. And I figured, okay, once we get to 5,000 there, then I'll probably put more focus on the business page.
And you were close to 5,000 already.
I think so.
Yeah, I know. I just checked it. I think it was a 4,200 or something.
Well, I'm going to have to be more selective about who I let in now. So.
Do you have a newsletter for your website?
I do an e-zine every Friday, which is marketing tips. And I really try and keep the e-zine focused on tips and education. Whereas if I do other promotional emails and things like that, I do that separately. So that the e-zine is strictly training and tips.
Right. How many subscribers do you have?
About 5,000.
Oh, that's cool. So you get clients from your e-zine, I guess.
Yeah, it's getting that way. And again, we made a big shift in the business this year. I finally started outsourcing some things, and I switched email providers, and I redid the website. So it's really been a big transition that's just now almost finished.
And why do you separate the commercial activities from the tips?
I'm just trying to keep tips focused on, your education and not do a lot of pitching or selling. And that way, we do a separate email for somebody. I don't say, oh, I'll do in the e-zine. I don't want the e-zine to become a whole bunch of, pitches and offers.
Okay. That's an important topic. That's one of my last questions. How do you keep a wealthy balance between entrepreneurship and in your life and your family?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm a work-at-home dad, and I have twin 13-year-olds. I have a boy and a girl. And they're both very active in sports, so I just work around their schedule. So that means I work while they're in school, and then I take a couple of hour break in the afternoon to get them to practices. And it works out well, then I do some more work late at night after they go to bed, and it's just a good lifestyle because I get to spend time with them, but I don't have to neglect my work.
I totally agree. I think that sounds very good. There's a very wealthy balance. I mean, this is a time you don't want to miss, right?
Right. So I really work it so that, part of the reason I enjoy being an entrepreneur is I can, travel with my son to the baseball fields and I can see my daughter play soccer and I don't have to miss all that. And yet I can still, work when I want at midnight to get work done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's the last question. What is your goal in business or life?
In business, I'm really passionate about helping as many people as possible, as many entrepreneurs as possible, get online and get presence online and be successful online. And, I think the quickest way to do that is through video. So that's what I help them with. And in life, I just want to be out here for my kids and family and help them out and be here while they're here so that they'll put me into a nice nursing home when they're in charge and I'm old.
Where is it people can find you? What is the addresses that people can find you?
The easiest way is to go to loubortone.com, Bortone, or email me at lou.bortone@gmail.com.
And your Twitter account?
My Twitter is @loubortone.
Right. Very easy.
I did a thing where I got the domain twitterlou.com and have it redirected to Twitter, so you can do that too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lou, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.